Alright, so this video is meant for my geometry students. We have a test coming up on Chapter 12 on Wednesday or Thursday, so this is to prepare you with the second half of the chapter, which was sections 4 and 5. I have a handful of problems to go over with you, and let's get to it. Alright, number 1 here. We're looking for x and y. And when you do these problems, the first thing is you're going to have a lot of angles and a lot of segments, so recognize what kind of problem this is. This is an angles problem, okay? Okay, so if I'm looking for x, well, x is this angle right here that is inside. So for x is in the circle. So what I need is a sum of arcs. Okay, well, what are the two arcs that x opens up to? Well, I'm going to use blue. The first arc that x opens up to, its arc, is this arc right here. And now this arc has a diameter as the endpoints. That means that that big arc is 180. Now the other arc that x opens up to, its vertical angle, is this arc. Now what is that arc? Well, if this entire thing is 180, let's do 60 plus 70. That's 130. And then let's take 180 minus 130. That's 50. This arc is 50. So to find x, and I'll use light blue here, to find x, which is the angle, we're going to take half the sum of those two arcs, half of 180 plus 50. 180 plus 50 is 230. Half of 230 is 115. And there's x. Now, to find y is this arc right here. It has to do with this 53-degree angle, so for y, we're using an angle outside the circle, which means difference. So the other arc that is involved is the big arc right here. Because if you follow the 53-degree angle, it ends here and here. Well, that big arc is 180. So to find y, we're going to use this formula. The angle, 53 degrees, equals half the difference. And we take the farther arc, 180, minus the closer arc, which is that y. Whenever you're finding an arc, times by 2 to get rid of that 1/2, 106, equals 180 minus y. Subtract 180 from both sides. Negative 74 equals negative y, and then we'll divide by negative 1. And y is 74. So there's an angle inside and outside in that one problem. Make sure you really can dissect the picture and use the information you need to find each variable. Okay, here's this problem. It says you focus your camera on a circular fountain. The camera is at the vertex angle of the angle formed by the tangents to the fountain. You estimate that this angle is 40 degrees. What is the measure of the arc of the circular basin of the fountain that will be in the photograph? So I believe the picture looks something like this, right? So you have a fountain. So there's the bottom of the fountain, and here's the water shooting up. That's the water, okay? And again, there's more to it, but this is the basin. So your camera is right here. This is the camera taking the picture. And it says that the camera is at the vertex of an angle formed by the two tangents to the fountain. So if we draw these two tangents, this is the picture. Okay? And the question is, what is that arc right here? What is this? Call it x. And they give you this angle. This angle right here is 40 degrees. That's the question. Okay? Alright, well, how do we solve this problem? Well, if that is x, then these tangents break the circle into two arcs, x and then the other arc. Well, they both have to be 360 together, so take 360 and subtract the 1 that you have a label for. So this back arc is 360 minus x. And now, this is an angle problem, and this angle is outside the circle, which means difference. So the angle, 40 degrees, is equal to half the difference of the farther arc, that's 360 minus x, that's one arc, minus the closer arc, which is x. Again, we're finding an arc, so times by 2, 80 equals, and this is 360 minus 2x. There's two minus x's, so that's minus 2x. Subtract 360 from both sides. We have negative 280 equals negative 2x, and divide by negative 2. And we get an x value of 140. So what is the measure of the arc that the camera sees? 140 degrees. Okay, here's our third problem here. We have this picture, and now this is a segment problem. Okay, so let's try to find x first. If we look at this picture, x is on a secant. Okay, x goes all the way down. So when you have a secant, you have to make sure you mark what the hole is. So I'm going to try my best here with blue to go above here. So what is the whole secant? Well, it's this 5 plus this x plus that 7. Well, 5 and 7 is 12. This whole secant is x plus 12. So we're going to use a secant. So to find x, we're going to use a secant. And then this is a chord. That's not one of the combinations, secant chord. And this is a tangent. That's a combination. So we're going to use secant tangent. Okay. So how do we do this? Well, for a secant, it's the outside part, 7, times the whole, x plus 12. And make sure you put that x plus 12 in parentheses. Then the tangent is squared, equals 11 squared. We distribute the 7. 7x plus 84 is 121. We subtract the 84 on both sides. 7x equals, and this is 37, and divide by 7. And we get a rough estimate of 5.3 or 5.4. Something like that. Make sure you round correctly. 37 divided by 7 is 5.3. That's x. Okay, now y is on a chord. So then that has to be the two chords case. So what are the two chords we're going to use? Well, we're going to use the y and the 9 as one, and then part of the secant as the other one, which includes this x value. So instead of being x, let's make that 5.3. So 5 and 5.3 are the chord that is part of that secant. So how do we find y? Well, y times, now its other part is 9, equals 5 times 5.3. This is 9y equals, and 5 times 5.3 is 26.5, and we'll divide both sides by 9. Divide by 9, and we get something like 2.9. Y equals 2.9. And there's your x and y value, and this is the example of the segments problem from section 4. Okay, write the standard equation of the circle. And we have a center and we have a point. Now, the standard equation, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Do not forget that. H and k are the center. Well, that's given. 7, negative 2. X and y are just random points of the circle. That's this. And r squared is the radius squared. Now, the final answer has to have h, k, and r replaced. Well, in this problem, we're given h and k, and we're given x and y. We're not given r. Well, let's find what r squared is by plugging it in. X is 1, minus h is 7. Y is negative 6, minus k, which is negative 2. And this is going to help us find r squared. Now, this is negative 6 squared, which is 36. This minus here becomes plus, and this is negative 4 squared, which is 16. There's my r squared. 52 is my r squared. So my final answer is x minus 7 plus y. And now this, if I put a minus 2, it becomes plus 2, just like we did here. Plus 2 squared equals, and then r squared is 52. And notice x and y are there. H, k, and r are replaced. Okay, in this problem it says the equation models the position and range of a tornado alert siren. Describe the position and the range. Okay, so what we're going to do is the following. First, write down the general formula. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Now the position is going to be the center, and the range is just going to be the radius. So from this equation, the center is 5, 7, hk. The radius squared is 81, so that means the radius, take the square root, is 9. So to describe the position is at 5, 7. The range is 9. And there you go. Now I want to do this problem, I want to graph it as well, just to give us an example of graphing. So I'm going to bring in a graph real fast. Give me a second. Okay, here's my graph. I don't know if it's going to be big enough still, but we'll do our best. So the position is at 5, 7. So on here with red, I'll put the center at 5, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now I have to count 9 in every position. So again, I'm not going to make it, but I'll do my best. I'll go left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I'll just estimate to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So again, if I had a coordinate plane proper size, I'd fit it all. And then we draw a circle. Let's see how this goes. Not bad. Could be worse. I'll take it. Uh-oh. Alright, that's my circle. I'm happy with that circle. So there we go. Position at 5, 7, and the range is 9. And that's how we graph a circle. Okay, here's our next problem here. We're going to take the graph and we're going to grab the center and radius from it and write the equation of the circle. Now, do not mind my curvy axes. The example didn't come with them. So there's your x and y axis. We are in charge of writing the equation. Well, again, remember the equation: x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. So again, I need the center, which is h and k, and I need the radius. Well, to find the center, just count it from the origin. The origin's right here. So we go left to right, none. So that means our x value is 0, and we go up 1, 2, 3. That means your y is 3. So your h is 0, and your k is 3. And then the radius, we need to count from the center out. And you go down, up, left, right, I don't care. 1, 2. We have a radius value of 2, and the radius is 2. So over here, when I plug it in, I will replace h, k, and r with what they are. X minus 0 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 2 squared. And to simplify this, x minus 0 is just x, so that's just x squared. We leave the y minus 3 squared alone, and 2 squared is 4. And there's the equation of this circle. Okay, last problem I got here. Write an equation of a circle with diameter AB. And it gives you the coordinates of A and B. So again, you have to think about a picture. If this is a circle, B is here at 5, 5. A is here at 1, 1. This is the diameter. Now, the equation of a circle, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. It's got to be like implanted in your brain by now. It needs h and k, which are the center, and r, which is the radius. This gives us nothing. These are just 2 points on the circle. These are 2 x's and y's. Well, I think I can find the center. The center is right here. It's the middle of those 2 points. So use the midpoint formula to find the center. What is the midpoint formula? Well, we add the x's, 1 plus 5, and divide by 2. And we add the y's, 1 plus 5, and divide by 2. So this center is going to be at 6 divided by 2 is 3. 6 divided by 2 is at 3, 3. Now I will use the standard form equation, and I will use one of these points as my x and y. I'm going to let 1, 1 be x and y. So I'm going to take 1, 1 and 3, 3, plug it into this standard equation of a circle. X is 1 minus h is 3 squared plus y is 1 minus k is 3 squared. This is going to give me my r squared. And all I really want is my r squared, because that's what's going to my formula. Okay, so 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Negative 2 squared is 4. That's my r squared. So your r squared is an 8. So the equation of this circle, x minus 3 squared plus y minus 3 squared is 8. And there you go. Alright. So hopefully you watch this video, you feel more comfortable with these segment and angle problems and with these circle problems, and you have a great final test grade for the 4th 9 weeks. Alright. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Wednesday or Thursday.